Gene Stapleton.
I'd like to rent a room.
Whoopi Goldberg.
If your check bounces, that's going to be a $45,000 service charge.
Baghdad Cafe. Then one sweet.
You got that right.
The other indiscreet.
If I don't look good, they don't look long.
Sugar and Spice. All new comedy premieres Friday, March 30th.
This is CBS.
Good evening, I'm John Henry.
And I'm Barbara Sloan. Next on Channel 6 Action News, an exclusive interview with Haiti's new president. Giselle Fernandez will report from Port-au-Prince.
This is J.D. Roberts live in Fort Lauderdale. Broward voters went to the polls today. Will it cost them more money? I'll have a live report.
Did an abandoned teenager tell a tall tale? Broward authorities think so.
I'm Al Sunshine in West Dade, where a brush fire has burned out thousands of acres of tinder dry grass. Police investigators are calling it a case of arson.
Channel 6 Action News is next.
Mazda isn't shouting about its spring sales event. Not with values like this 626, with more room and a better basic warranty than Honda Accord. It's priced $966 less. And now get $1,000 cash back plus air or automatic at no extra charge. With up to $1,810 in value, we don't have to shop. But maybe we want to.
At your Dade Broward Mazda dealer now.
No matter how complex your tax return is, H&R Block can handle your return.
America's tax team is ready for you.
We know the tax laws, we know the forms, and we keep up with the tax changes.
We're prepared for all kinds of tax situations, from the simplest to the most complex. And we're ready to help you, too.
Once they realize what we can do for them and how we can take the worry out of taxes, they keep coming back.
Every year, more people come to H&R Block to get their tax returns done right.
We're America's tax team. Put us to work for you.
We're earning our reputation one story at a time. Now, John Hambrick and Giselle Fernandez, Channel 6 Action News.
Could these be fake tears? Broward officials now say this abandoned kid was not abandoned after all. He's now in jail. Why would anyone set brush fires in West Dade? The law's not sure, but there's no doubt somebody did. And in Haiti, the fires of hope are burning tonight. Hope a new president will bring democracy. Good evening. Giselle got an exclusive interview with that new president in Haiti. That's why Barbara Sloan is with us tonight.
And you're about to see some of that exclusive interview. Eartha Pascal Trouillot is a 46-year-old woman, an interim president, but Haiti's first female president, nevertheless. Inaugurated one day after Prosper Avril abandoned his country under pressure. Here is part of what Madame Trouillot told Channel 6 Action News anchor Giselle Fernandez.
Yes.
Last night, on the eve of her inauguration, President-elect Madame Trouillot met with the opposition leaders that appointed Haiti's first female judge to Haiti's first woman president. In an exclusive interview, Madame Trouillot told me in Creole, translated by her brother-in-law, it will be a great pleasure to serve the people and will do so the best she can from the heart. Trouillot says the people of Haiti will accept her as their new leader and says she does not fear for her safety. When asked if Haitian refugees in Miami can now return home, the First Lady said yes, the door is open, that she will try her best to accommodate all Haitian people. She then greeted all Haitian refugees in Miami.
Hello to my Haitian community in Miami.
As Trouillot talked with friends and political leaders, her only daughter watched on the sidelines with pride.
I'm very happy I'm here. And surprised? Yes, very surprised.
Madame Eartha Trouillot, Haiti's first female judge, arrived for her inauguration shortly before 11. Inside, Major General Gerard Abrams told her the army was now at her command. Trouillot accepted the presidency in the name of all Haitian women and vowed her government will be one of the people, that their inspiration will light the way. Outside, an estimated 24,000 Haitians paraded and cheered with renewed hope for their future. Many waved branches symbolizing new growth.
About an hour from Port-au-Prince is a place called Plage des Cahiers, right on the shoreline here. Most of the Haitians I talked to don't know anything about Haiti's new president. When they heard, they were somewhat hopeful.
But their conditions are so deplorable here, they don't think it's going to help their living conditions anytime soon. And it's certainly not going to stop them from trying to escape to Miami or anywhere else in the States to seek a better life. How many don't know? Yes, but how many don't know that there's this new president? These people, they don't know. So while most here remain cautious and in some ways indifferent to today's historic events, there are some who do find renewed hope in their future.
I really like to live in Haiti and like because God put me here because He chose that place for me.
In Port-au-Prince, Haiti, Giselle Fernandez, Channel 6 Action News.
You know very well the dramatic changes in Haiti are being closely monitored and evaluated among the residents of Miami's Little Haiti, and today Channel 6 Action News enhanced that monitoring process for some. Action News reporter Beverly Counts Rodriguez took a copy of Giselle's video interviews with Madame Trouillot to the Haitian Refugee Center. No one in the room had ever seen the new president. No one knew what she looked like. As for what they expect from her,
I think it sounds good to me the way she's talking, because she think about us here in Miami.
I never seen her before. She could be a good one, she could be a bad one, who knows?
So it's generally a wait-and-see sort of attitude, it seems, though local Haitian leaders hoping to help ensure democratic elections want the U.S. to send a delegation to monitor upcoming elections to be held in 3 to 6 months. Meantime, in the immediate future, Giselle Fernandez will remain in Haiti to cover significant post-inauguration activities of Madame Trouillot, as well as citizen reaction, all of which you will see on Channel 6 Action News at 6, 6:30, and 11 p.m. Now, what's happened to the ousted Prosper Avril? That's as much a mystery tonight as it was at this time last night. Nobody at the U.S. State Department is saying where Avril went. Deposed Panamanian leader Manuel Noriega, of course, is in jail here in South Florida. Tonight, word that Noriega's drug-related trial in Miami federal court is set to start next January 28th. No doubt many of you thought it would come sooner. At any rate, Noriega will have co-defendants, including Daniel Miranda and Eduardo Parto.
The votes are being counted in Broward County tonight. One of the most watched issues on the ballot is a penny increase in the county's sales tax. Here are the latest figures on that vote. 24% in favor of the sales tax increase, 76% opposed to the penny tax.
Now, that contest could add hundreds of dollars in taxes each year for anyone eating and shopping in Broward County.
Channel 6 Action News reporter J.D. Roberts has been following the story throughout the night and has more on the impact of the voters' decision. He joins us now from our Broward Bureau. J.D.?
Barb, the question of a sales tax increase has been on a lot of ballots across the state in the past year. So far, 20 of the state's 67 counties have approved it. 8 have rejected it. And you can add another one to that list tonight because Broward residents have overwhelmingly turned it down.
Massive, rapid development. That's Broward's biggest problem. The explosive growth the county has been experiencing has left it to play some serious catch-up. The county wanted the tax to spend $392 million on road improvements, $135 million for a new jail, $22 million on drug rehabilitation, $140 million to improve water quality, and $63 million on new library branches. The bulk of the tax would have come from taxable grocery items, building supplies, and restaurants.
7 cents, it would like really hurt people's pocket. It's like painful for me to dish out 6 cents on the dollar.
The tax would have cost the average family about $100 a year. Hillary Sklar figures it would mean $2 to $3 a week more for her.
Absolutely, I would vote against it. I moved to Florida to increase my style of living, not have it cost me more.
The most consistent reason we found tonight for rejection of the increase was that it applied equally. The rich would pay the same amount of tax as the poor who could least afford it. We did find some people who wouldn't mind paying more, but balked when they found out where it was going. How would you like it if I told you you had to give me another $1.30 before you could take it?
I'd be a little surprised, but I think it'd still be a fair deal.
So you'd be prepared to pay an extra penny on every dollar that you spend?
Oh, I see. If it was going to the government, I might have second thoughts about that.
That distrust of government spending was evident even among people who voted yes for the increase today.
It's like giving your kids money, you know? They say, well, Mom, I don't know where my money went. And then you say, well, okay, here's this, let's try again.
So for the meantime, Broward residents get to keep those extra few dollars in their pocket, but the money that the county needs is going to have to come from somewhere. So figure on a pretty hefty property tax increase next year. And because Broward's 28 cities were going to get half of every penny, figure that they're going to want something from you too. And by the way, Barb and John, there was a little bit of a problem in getting the votes to the returning stations tonight. The Broward Sheriff's Office neglected to pick a few of them up, so the returns are coming in very slowly. Back to you.
Whoops. Thank you, J.D. Dade County is next to face a possible tax increase. A petty sales tax referendum will be on the November ballot.
Broward voters were also asked to decide whether a county law should be changed so housing complexes for older people can keep out younger residents. Right now, it looks as though younger residents will be kept out. With more than 61% of the precincts reporting, voters are saying yes to restricting housing complexes. The hottest mayoral race on tap tonight is for the top spot in the city of Hollywood. So let's check those numbers. Now, this is only with 4 of 61 precincts reporting. Incumbent Mara Giuliante has 287 votes. Her opponent, Sal Oliveri, is beating her with 516 votes, but that, as I say, is only with 4 of 61 precincts reporting. Channel 6 Action News reporter Dave Game joins us from Giuliante headquarters with an update. Dave.
Well, the biggest update right now is no update, John. That's because there seems to have been a problem in the way that the ballots in the Hollywood race have been collected. We've been able to confirm with the Broward Sheriff's Office that for some reason deputies were not dispatched to the transfer points to pick up the ballots and to take them to the Board of Elections to be counted. So right now nobody knows for sure how long it's going to be until they have some really solid numbers in the mayor's race. Joining me now is two-term incumbent Mara Giuliante. Mr. Mayor, this must be awfully annoying to have to sit here and wait like this to hear the numbers.
It's very stressful, to say the least.
Are you surprised that something hadn't been done to take care of this before now? I mean, that we're approaching midnight tonight before you might learn something?
I'm extremely disappointed. I think we certainly should have expected the second largest city in Broward County to have had this taken care of long before.
Now, we're talking right now about a lead for your opponent. It's an early lead. Are you worried that it's going to be really close?
I think it'll be a very close race, and I think it's just too close to call, which is why we're so anxious to see the results.
Okay, Mayor Giuliante, thank you very much. Earlier this evening, we were visiting at the headquarters of Sal Oliveri, one of the other 2 candidates in this race. He was already claiming victory, even though there were only 4 precincts reporting. Of course, obviously, it's a little bit too early to be claiming that. We're going to be watching this race throughout the night, and we'll be back to you if we have some numbers before we leave. John, back to you.
Okay, Dave, thank you very much. 2 key commission races are also being decided in Hollywood tonight. But again, because the votes are coming in slowly, incumbents Sue Gunsberger and Guy Roper and their opponents still don't know what the voters are deciding at this point. So, over to you, Barbara.
5 other mayor's races are also being decided tonight. Let's start with Coral Springs. A race made all the more interesting because of a newspaper ad. That ad was placed by candidate Roger Silversmith's sister-in-law endorsing his opponent, Jeannie Mills. Family squabbles aside, here's what the voters decided. With just a handful of votes counted so far, Jeannie Mills has the early lead, but that's with only 22 precincts counted so far. A third candidate, Bruce Chait, dropped out of that race.
The 4 other Broward communities are electing a mayor tonight. All 4 include incumbents hoping to hold on to their jobs. In Cooper City, Mayor Sue Ellen Fartelman has the early lead over challenger August Gus Kelch. Checking Parkland now, where the big campaign issue is land, annexed away by the state legislature. A late start on the vote count has incumbent Mayor Sal Pagliara with the smallest of leads, a mere 2 votes thus far. The winner will serve a 2-year term and will receive an annual salary of $2,400. And 2 more mayor's races to tell you about in Sea Ranch Lakes, a community with only 374 registered voters. Robert Hunt is hoping to hang on to his job. Here are the results so far. Businessman Herbert Yardley has a 1-vote lead over Mayor Hunt in a race where the key issue is sewers. Again, the votes are late in being counted. The big issue in Tamarack is cash and who's responsible for the city's huge financial problems. Former Mayor Philip Kravitz is pointing his finger at current Mayor Norman Abramowitz. Abramowitz, as you probably guessed, blames Kravitz. Now, with 20 of the city's 24 precincts counted, Abramowitz has a huge lead in his quest for another 2-year term.
Coming up next on Channel 6 Action News. A raging brush fire burns through hundreds of acres of dry land.
And a teenager's tale of woe takes a strange new twist. Details up next.
You're reaching deep inside, looking for the edge, driven by a dream to be better than the best. Home is where the heart is. You can see it all around you and it feels so right. Home is where the heart
Follow your heart. Come home to the Polo Club. Boca Raton.
In ancient times, people were moved to powerful emotions by the sight of an eclipse. Some even thought it called for a sacrifice. We can understand how an eclipse might produce feelings of excitement, wonder, even awe. But at $10,919, it's hardly a sacrifice.
Get a great deal now at your Dade Broward Mitsubishi Motors dealer.
We're with you all the way.
What do you reach for when your cash flow suddenly runs dry?
Chevron, we're with you. We're with you all the way, Chevron.
Where do you go when life on the fast track gets a little messy?
Chevron, we're with you, and we'll be with you all.
Where do you go when Rover turns your picnic into his snack?
Chevron, we're with you all the.
Tonight's Channel 6 Action News is sponsored in part by Cotton Incorporated for America's cotton growers. Cotton, the fabric of our lives.
In the fading light, a cold blue haze, gay laughter, sad cries, these mark our day, the touch, the feel, the fabric of our lives, the touch, the feel, the fabric of our lives.
An update on that big brush fire that's already blackened more than 4,000 acres in West Dade and still burning tonight. The law's convinced somebody set the thing. I say somebody. It could have been more than one person. At any rate, it is a bad situation, as you will see in this late report from Channel 6 Action News reporter Al Sunshine.
It started at about 12:30, Coral Way and 147th Avenue. It roared west all night. Helicopters tried dumping water on the flames to stop it, but it just kept growing bigger and bigger, fed by blustery winds. The fire's been moving quickly here just north of Chrome Avenue, and this is the reason why. This grass is dry and brittle. It's perfect for brush fires, and that's why these fires have been burning almost literally out of control. State forestry workers believe it was deliberately set, arson. Tonight, they're offering a $1,000 reward for information leading them to whoever started it.
They're foolish because they don't understand what's going to happen. The consequences of having somebody's house, their life, or any other type of property destroyed is astronomical right now.
How bad is this brush fire season?
This is probably going to be the worst brush fire season the state's seen in years.
We're in the height of the brush fire season right now in South Florida. Firefighters say the threat of more fires is going to get even worse. In West Dade, Al Sunshine, Channel 6, Action News.
Explosions ripped through a New York neighborhood today, destroying 10 homes and leaving 6 people injured. Utility officials say the blasts were caused by a leaking liquid propane pipeline. Witnesses in the rural town of Blenheim say the scene looked like somebody dropped a bomb in the neighborhood. An apartment fire in Madison, Wisconsin has claimed the lives of 5 children. Residents in the area are accusing the local police of stopping efforts to rescue the youngsters from the burning building. But Madison's police chief says more civilians could have died trying to help save the lives of those children.
An update on the story you described as heartbreaking, Barbara, when you reported it at 6:30, edition of Action News. Heartbreaking seemed fitting enough for a frightened, mentally impaired teenager who told authorities he'd been abandoned by his own brother. But guess what? After some checking, HRS decided this kid's story wasn't straight, that it wasn't so much a story of heartbreak as it was of subterfuge. Enter some Broward sheriff's deputies who also probed Andrew Nabb's tale of woe. They now believe this guy's not even a teenager, but in his 20s. In fact, they found out tonight he has a record. Was he pulling some sort of scam? If so, what? Why? For what? No answers to those questions yet, but Nebbs is in the Broward County Jail tonight, held without bail, charged with violating his probation.
Boy, I was fooled. And up next on Channel 6 Action News.
Maria has the weather.
Take the new 1990 Volkswagen Passat out for a Sunday drive, and it'll make a big impression. After all, it's roomier than the Volvo 740 and more powerful than a Honda Accord LX. But best of all, Passat lets you experience Farfignugan, a special oneness with car and road which can turn an ordinary Sunday drive into a truly uplifting experience. Farfignugan, it's what makes a car a Volkswagen.
Morning. I'm late.
If you won Fantasy 5, you'd have enough money to buy the one thing you've always wanted.
Morning. I'm late.
A little privacy.
Twenty-first century technology works day and night to link all Walgreens pharmacies, so your current Walgreens prescription records are always as close as your nearest Walgreens. With Intercom, we can tell you when savings are available. We may even help prevent an allergic reaction. Concerned pharmacists, superior healthcare technology, only at Walgreens.
When you bring your color film to Walgreens, you can order a second set of prints for only 99 cents. Get next day service, too.
Come to your Dade Broward Ford dealers 5 days only giant tent clearance. We're overstocked with 90s, so we've priced them to move. Over 5,000 new cars and trucks, 81 million in inventory at your Dade Broward Ford dealers. Get incredible deals on Escort, Ranger, Mustang, every 1990 car and truck in stock for 5 days only. Look for the big tops at your participating Dade and Broward Ford dealers during the giant tent clearance and drive home a deal.
Well, the downside of all the beautiful weather we're having is that we desperately need rain, as you saw a moment ago with all the brush fires.
Yep.
How are we going to get it?
None other way. Nothing substantial that will help to...
Till the weekend, you said last night.
And those are scattered showers, John. Nothing really heavy. We're going to have to wait till the rain season comes around once again to put an end to our drought, or hopefully just, ease it up just a bit. But until then, no, we see no foreseeable heavy amounts of rain coming our way. Let's go outside right now. Behind the weather camera tonight was Michael Hernandez. He was out in South Miami, and currently we have a 73-degree reading in Miami. Beach not available, Kendall 71, and Key West 74. Surf temp right now is 75, winds out of the east at 8, and our pressure is on the rise. Let's take an overall view. This is the 6 o'clock satellite photo, and the reason why I'm showing it to you, look at all this cloud cover throughout the central plains. It's quite heavy, but the whiter, the brighter the cloud cover, the heavier the precipitation underneath it. Now, look at the 11. Just a big difference, very, very drastic difference throughout the central plains. They had quite a bit of severe weather. Numerous tornadoes touched down throughout portions of Kansas tonight. Matter of fact, tornadoes were spotted all the way from Iowa down into the eastern portion of Texas. Take a look at what they had in Nebraska today, too. Look at that funnel cloud. Is that the most devastating thing you've ever seen in your life? 2 injuries were reported, 4 homes, and much more in the way of damage. They haven't even come out with the totals as of yet. This is just late video, which we just got in. So extremely heavy weather throughout the central plains that will continue to move up to the northeast, and we will not see too much of that at all. Nothing in the way of precipitation, just maybe a few scattered showers for the weekend. Here's my forecast for you then for tonight. Partly cloudy. Low 65 to 71. Then for tomorrow, another partly cloudy day, and we could see an isolated shower, especially late at night near the coast. High 80 to 84 degrees. Boater tomorrow, winds out of the east 10 to 15, seas 3 to 5 feet, just a moderate chop on the bay. Low tide 347, high tide at 947. Here's the extended forecast. And as I said, just a slight chance of seeing some rain develop on Friday and remaining throughout Saturday morning, and it will be light. So nothing much to report here. Thank goodness we're not in the central plains, but they are really having a time of it. Very severe weather there.
It looks that way.
Yes.
Coming up next on Channel 6 Action News, a hometown favorite will miss her favorite tournament. Dan will have sports.
And the 1990 Condor breeding season gets off to a rip-roaring start. Details next.
If you stripped Ford Taurus of all its awards, erased all the glowing reviews, removed all evidence of its presence on the road, and introduced it today, Ford Taurus would still be ahead of its time.
Have you driven a Ford lately?
It could happen to anyone.
She was supposed to be my maid of honor.
Your best friend.
The night of his bachelor party, she went to his house and they had a fling.
Your spouse.
You ratted on your own wife.
Yeah. Your own family.
My money literally went south.
When the stakes are high, how low will they go? Backstabbers and betrayal on the next Geraldo.
Tomorrow at 5 on Channel 6.
Hi, do you have Ninja Turtles?
Is it here?
It's not here, it's nowhere.
I've been searching. I'm searching. Is it here?
Oh yeah, searching every which way.
If you're getting nowhere,
It's not here.
it's because you didn't start here. The real Yellow Pages from Southern Belle. It's here or nowhere.
I've been searching.
The BMW 325i convertible. The ultimate tanning machine.
Would you believe football tops damn sports today?
Hey, 12 months a year, John and Barb. The Dolphins finally got into the free agent market. They signed a big fullback named Tony Page. He's been a backup for most of his 6 years in the NFL. The Dolphins have lost 3 players to Plan B free agency already, and they figured to lose at least 3 more. Here are the numbers on their first Plan B signing. Page is 27 from Virginia Tech. What Shula likes about him is his size, 5'10", 235 pounds. Shula says he's a tough inside runner and an exceptional blocker. He spent 3 years with the Jets, 3 years with the Lions. He carried total 223 times for 722 yards. That's in 6 years. But he scored 17 touchdowns, 15 of them in his first 2 seasons in the league. The NFL made a rules change to speed up games just a tad. After an out-of-bounds play, they'll start the clock as soon as the referee spots the ball, except in the final 2 minutes of the first half and the final 5 minutes of the game. Also, the 1993 Super Bowl will go to Phoenix, so here's the Super Bowl schedule. Next year, Tampa, 1992 Minneapolis, 93 Phoenix, Miami's bidding for the game in 94. The Heat has undertaken a 4-game West Coast swing in 5 nights. The Heat in Sacramento tonight, Kings favored by 7, and just before halftime, Sacramento leads at 44-32. 4 scores are in. The 76ers lose their 3rd in a row. San Antonio nips Indiana. Chicago beats the Knicks in the Garden, and Boston big over Atlanta. The Hurricane baseball team ran its record to 20-3 with a 4-0 victory over Davidson at Marklight Stadium. Sophomore left-hander Jeff Alkire allowed 3 hits in 7 innings, struck out a career-high 6. Todd Bush the save. George Fabregas led offensively with a 2-run double. The baseball owners have delayed their decision about delaying the start of the season. They'll wait until Friday before making that determination. In the meantime, nothing happening in negotiations. President Bush even called for the 2 sides to get together, but he won't really stick his nose into this. The draw for the Lipton Tennis Tournament on Key Biscayne is tomorrow. Tournament starts Friday, but Mary Jo Fernandez won't be in it. She told our Russell Shimoka today that she's hurting pulled hamstring.
It's tough. It's a tough break. You know, I like playing down here. It's my favorite tournament of the year. And, you know, I was starting to play well and had some confidence going, and my shoulder was doing really well. And, you know, something else goes wrong. But, you know, you just got to look for the next time and just get better.
Come on, Mary Jo, get well fast.
Yeah, that's really too bad. Thanks, Dan. Officials at the San Diego Wild Animal Zoo say this year is definitely going to be for the birds. The first California condor of the 1990 breeding season hatched yesterday. The successful birth raises the endangered species population to 33 and brings the birds one step closer to their planned reintroduction to the wild. Doctors won't know if the baby is a boy or a girl for several months, but it's already been named Chulna, which means Indian doctor. Don't know how they got the name.
Finally, nearly half the votes are in the Hollywood mayor's race. The race couldn't be closer. Incumbent Mayor Ma Galante now he'll lead Sal Oliveri by less than 40 votes again. That is with nearly half the votes counted at this point.
Long way to go.
Okay, thank you for having us in for news. The Pat Sajak Show is up next. I'm John Haber.
And I'm Barbara Sloan for Channel 6 Action News. All of us here, we thank you for joining us. We're saying goodbye now to say hello to our friends in South Dade.